The incredible historical speech of Zelensky in European Parliament. Weekly massive rocket attack by Russian terrorist federation on Ukrainian infrastructure. And threatening of military base of Ukraine. Hi, it's Weekly News at Yakovlev's Twitch channel. In December last year, Zelensky, for the first time during the war, went abroad, visited the United States. And after that, the military aid to Ukraine increased its numbers and pace. This week, Zelensky made a number of visits to European countries. Firstly, on February 8, Zelensky arrived to Great Britain, where he visited Ukrainian military personnel who are undergoing training. The British Prime Minister Sunak and Volodymyr Zelensky met with Ukrainian soldiers who are currently learning to operate Challenger tanks. In his speech to the British government, Ukrainian Hetman also spoke about aircrafts. And within a week, the issue of the supply to Ukraine fighter jets will be resolved. And the government of the country assured that the Great Britain will train Ukrainian pilots to fly the NATO fighter jets. Also, Ukraine agreed with Great Britain about long-range weapons. Well, the next day, February 9, Zelensky went to France at Elysee Palace, where Macron and Scholz were waiting for him. From there, he went to Brussels for a summit of European Union leaders that took place during 9-10 February. The Ukrainian anthem rang out in the European Parliament, and the whole of European Parliament continuously applauds our president. And the most amazing things about it, that the whole world already understand and know how you should answer to the Slava Ukraini, that means glory to Ukraine. Please, attention to the video.
Слава Україні!
This week, in the New York Times, some interesting article appeared. The newspaper described the full process of manufacturing artillery shells in the United States that also will be supplied to Ukraine. The manufacturing of artillery ammunition is really laboring and multi-stage. For example, firstly, in the state of Pennsylvania, they are made body cases that will be delivered to state Iowa and are filled with an explosive substance. Then these products should be inspected for defects. And also in this article you can find some more detailed interesting information about this process. Meanwhile, Ukroboronprom, with one of NATO countries, started production of some type of mines. And this is the first joint production product. Such ammunition hits enemy infantry in a radius of 25 to 60 meters, and the scattering of fragments can reach 250 meters. Also, this mines is capable to destroying some engineering structures and lightly armed vehicles. Moreover, the chairman of German defense concern Rheinmetall announced his intention to build an underground factory of the production of modern tanks on the territory of Ukraine. Foreign policy source reports that Ukraine is expecting a new measure of invasion during 10 days. The terrorists of Russian Federation have prepared a lot of military equipment. It's about 2,000 tanks, 4,000 armed vehicles, a little less 3,000 artillery systems, a lot of anti-aircraft guns and vehicles. Also there is 400 fighter jets and 300 helicopters. Also, according to ICW, military analysts also have concluded that Russian forces are preparing a large-scale offensive in Ukraine, but for which they lack combat power. At the same time, according to Estonian intelligence, the bunker-mouth Putin is biding his time and believes that Ukraine and our Ukrainian Western partners will be exhausted sooner than Russia. But actually, the occupiers are storming the cities on the Donetsk direction every day, and large-scale fighting is currently taking place in the Donetsk and Lugansk regions. And this is the same, exactly this offensive that military analysts talking about, yeah? It's has already begun. And according to our leaders, Putin can throw about 300,000 Russian troops into the war. 728 rockets. This is exactly numbers that terrorist Russia fired over Ukraine in 4 months. If we sum up each month, the most was in December. It's about 235 missiles. And the most per day was during October 11-12. It's about 111 missiles per this day. During this time, the full blackout happened only once, on November 23. And since that time, our energy system has withstood the enemy's blows. In January, we actually saw that the intensity of shelling has decreased, and the Russian terrorist is beginning to accumulate missiles. All things considered, the Russian terrorist will be able to maintain the current intensity, and it's about average 50 missiles every 2-3 weeks. Also, according to CNN, Iran will modify the attack kamikaze drones it supplies on Russia, so that explosive warheads can cause maximum damage to infrastructure in Ukraine. And as we talked previously, the Russians currently use new tactic that, firstly, they use Iranian kamikaze drones to exhaust our air defense and find out its positions, and the next day they use both drones and missiles to cause more damage to our critical infrastructure and civilians. So for now, at the night of February 9, the Russians use drones and some missiles to find our defense positions, and unfortunately they hit some energy infrastructure facilities. And then February 10, they launched massive rocket attack over Ukraine, and unfortunately there was hit in different regions as critical energy infrastructure, as civilians and private housing, and unfortunately some people were injured. Kyiv is building up air defense. In order to counter the Iranian kamikaze drones, Shahed and cruise missiles, mobile fire groups were created in the divisions of the Kyiv Defense Forces and Minsk groups. Fire positions for mobile groups are determined so that the crew can arrive at places faster, and preparing the crew itself for battle takes no more than 1 minute. For now, the number of people within these mobile groups is constantly growing for our protection. This is the man for last week. Glory to Ukraine, our partners. Slava Ukraini, Героям слава!